Moving right on, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has left for Russia to attend the 16th BRICS Summit in the city of Kazan. The Prime Minister will be holding bilateral talks with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Besides Putin, the Prime Minister is also going to be meeting the Chinese President Xi Jinping, as well as hold bilateral talks with leaders from the other BRIC member nations. Let's get in Sumita, who joins in with what to expect.
Yes, indeed. So the Prime Minister has left for Russia for the BRICS Summit, the 16th edition of the BRICS Summit that is happening today. He'll be there today and tomorrow. It's happening in Kazan. So geopolitical issues will be discussed. Very important to also note that the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, just a couple of days back called BRICS, that is not anti-Western but non-Western. He stated that he's reiterating Prime Minister Modi's stance so far as the BRICS Summit is concerned. Remember now, a couple of important points to note is that this is going to be the Prime Minister's second visit to Russia in just the past 10 months alone. And when he visited Russia and met with President Vladimir Putin in July, both sides had agreed to build on a $100 billion bilateral trade with Russia by 2030. And after that visit, immediately, the Prime Minister also met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in August as well. So that bilateral is going to be key, the Prime Minister's bilateral with President Putin. Remember, Putin has also advocated for a swift cross-border trade payment system because it wants to pursue its agenda of de-dollarization and reduce the dominance of dollar as so far as global international trade is concerned. The other important point to note is that, it'll be interesting to see India's stance so far as these two wars that are ensuing in the Middle East and, of course, Russia-Ukraine war. As far as those wars are concerned, India over and over again has reiterated that war is not a solution, to any of globe's problems, global problems. The other important point to note is will be interesting to see is whether the Prime Minister actually ends up holding a bilateral with Chinese Premier Xi Jinping. Remember, just yesterday, MEA announced that India and China have agreed to de-escalate border tensions. So that will be interesting to see, because if that gets resolved, if that bilateral indeed takes place, then it will mean that there will be expansion of ties between India and China on the economic front as well. So let's take a look at some of the key agenda points at BRICS. So what India will be looking forward to? Well, the expansion of economic cooperation, trade settlement, like I said, in national currencies to reduce reliance on US dollar, blockchain-based alternate payment system. Another third important point to note is that the Prime Minister could also hold a bilateral with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. We've seen the kind of tensions that have escalated in the Middle East. So that will also be crucial from a geopolitical point of view. So all eyes now on these three key bilateral meetings, and of course Russia's stance so far as pushing for cross-border trade payments system is concerned, because remember, it is in its interest and it's been facing a lot of pressure from the Western side as well, including a lot of sanctions.
Thanks for that, Sumita. Let's listen into what the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri had to say about the summit.
This year's summit, the 16th edition in Kazan, has as its focus the integration of new BRICS members into BRICS cooperation mechanisms, also strengthening economic cooperation, promoting cooperation for energy and food security, promoting cooperation in a host of areas related to science, healthcare, environmental protection, culture, sports, youth exchanges, and civil society. This is the first summit that will be taking place after the first ever expansion of BRICS last year at the Johannesburg Summit. So this summit will be attended by the founding members as well as the new members.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.